So not too long ago, I made a video about my top 10 favorite gods in the third-person MOBA called Smite. Needless to say, it was a rather experimental video that is flawed in some ways, but it still amassed some popularity. So I feel that with the Smite World Championship going on right now, it's fitting to talk about this game again. While I've been asked to talk a lot about the best gods in Season 2 of Smite, that's not what this video is, but don't worry, that's coming soon. Instead, I decided to take a look at the more cosmetic side of things, and see just which skins give this game the most appeal to the widest range of audience. There are a huge variety of skins in this game that allow you to wage battles between angels, demons, Easter bunnies, and Elvis Presley. Man, Smite is a weird game. This is an incredibly subjective list, seeing as how all the skins that I choose are the ones that are pleasing to me, and chances are we will have a difference in opinion, so please just remember that it's okay if we do. Also, pronunciations of god names are bound to be an issue, so I'll try my best there. Although, Ceiling, whatever the fuck her name is not on this list, so we won't have to worry about that. If there is one way to win my heart over in any game, it's to fill that shit up with references to Pokemon. And luckily we have one right here in Smite. The Cuckoo skin for Kukulkan was released in the 2016 Odyssey, and it's one of the best references in the game. Along with being an awesome reference, it's also very well stylized and beautifully rendered reimagining of one of my favorite Pokemon, Rayquaza. While I'm not that big of a fan of Kukulkan as a god, I really like this skin for him. If only he were as good in Smite as he is in Pokemon. Hell, he's more of a god in Pokemon than he is in Smite. Either way, this is a cool reference for a nice price of 400 gems. Now we just have to wait for that Pikachu skin for Ratatoster. You know what sucks? Capitalism. You know what doesn't suck? The Russian nation. No! The goddamn Empire of Russia. And just to rep it right here in Smite, we have our very own god Monot, Red Star Athena. Red Star Athena comes equipped with a mighty lance topped with the shining red star of communism, and a shield made of the proletariat's blood and tears. Did you accidentally get stuck in the support role because you were too busy shopping your capitalist ass around Amazon to call your role? Well, fear not, because with this skin you'll be able to conquer all lands and lanes with the sheer power of pure communism. You see this fishnet stocking she's wearing? It's made of so much goddamn adamantium that Red Star Athena can turn Wolverine's chemical composition into fucking water vapor with a single kick. So what are you doing playing your damn Raw America and your Uncle Zeus? You know who the real god of the people is. As I mentioned with the Kukulkan skin, references that are very aware of themselves have a special place in my heart, especially if they're video game skins. The two very best video game themed skins in this game are definitely Pixel Buster Freya and Super Chrono 64. I like both for many different reasons, but only one qualifies on this list for a very specific reason. Pixel Buster's face. Like, holy shit, what is going on here? Her face just looks like she's making a poor attempt to seduce the enemy or something, and it weirds me the hell out. So that leaves Super Chrono 64 to take the spot. This skin is a great example of how to make a great callback to the roots of gaming. It has a nice low poly appeal to it that should technically look bad because, well, it's literally less polygons, but it still looks great on him, and it gives his abilities an interesting redesign. The only bad thing about this skin is that it was an exclusive in 2015's Odyssey, and is no longer available, and I never bought it, so I will never have it. Yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more skins like that on this list. Have you ever gone outside at night and just stared up into the sky and observed the beautiful desolate void? Well, if not, you don't have to because Stargazer Anubis can do that for you. You thought a regular jackal was cool? Well, look at him now, he's a goddamn space jackal. Eat your heart out, space monkey and space lady. Stargazer Anubis is just as bad competitively as regular Anubis, but never before have you died in such a dazzling manner. Being a tier 4 skin, all of Anubis' regular moves get an extraterrestrial twist that makes them all the more interstellar. His 3-in-1 now look worthy of melting any foe from this planet to Pluto. As Anubis tears rifts in the dimensional continuity, you'll also notice that he can tear rifts straight through his own eye sockets and your body with his reanimated ultimate that is a perfect mix of stunning and deadly. and it makes this skin a perfect contender for this list. Being one of the newest gods to the game, Sol immediately took the community by storm, mostly because she kicks so much ass. She's an incredibly versatile god with nice escapes, punishing abilities, and the capabilities of being an ADC. And she even came packed with the coolest tier 1 skin in the game. Sol's Supernova skin is one of the nicest looking skins that have been released recently, which is impressive seeing as how you can buy it for just 950 favor. The sheer affordability of the skin would put it high on this list, but even then it still looks incredible on her. Sporting an interesting blue to purple to her normal coloring of orange, this skin is very colorful and very unique. Seeing this as a tier 1 skin is rather refreshing, being that it's one of the really interesting ones and it doesn't just make her green like half of the other tier 1s. And it all makes it so much better whenever you can roast the hell out of the competition with it. The purpose of cosmetic changes in gaming can vary based on the player who is deciding on what to use. They can be comical, a simple color swap, relevant, or they can make you look like a pure badass. And such is the case with Dragon Knight Ao Kuang. With this newly added skin, Ao Kuang turns from pretty cool dragon swordsman to an all-out badass with a glowing red blade. The coolest part about this skin is that I think it's one of the most drastic changes we've ever seen through a god skin. Really, the only thing that remains is Ao Kuang's stance and how he uses his sword. This is actually the thing that made me want to participate in the 2016 Odyssey in the first place, because as soon as I saw it, I knew that I had to have it. Also, I want a mode where you get to play exclusively as Ao Kuang's big-ass dragon. That shit needs to be in Season 3. Are you tired of just not having enough sick beats to decimate the competition with? Do you just not feel the groove of the gameplay? Well, that's just what Bass Drop Janus is for. Bringing the sickest goddamn beats since Nelly Furtada. I really wish I knew who that was. This Odyssey exclusive skin never fails to impress with just how detailed and stylized it is. Just like Run.exe for Mercury, this skin constantly changes color, allowing you to show off your smiting skills in every color of the rainbow. Along with the incredible colors that this skin emits, it also plays some sick beats every time you use an ability. Never again will you have to go without some kick-ass tunes in Smite. The only problem here is whenever you run out of mana. But that's not even the best part of the skin. The best part has to be the lines that he drops while playing the game.
Ooh, I don't care how high you are. Let the bodies hit the floor. Are you feeling it?
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Hey you! Yeah, you! Do you like animes with big-ass robots beating the hell out of each other? No? Well then what the hell is wrong with you? Dragon Ball Z can't even touch this kind of shit. Seeing as how I've now converted you to the Church of Gundam, it's time for you to buy everything in this year's Odyssey and get yourself a Ragnarok Force X skin for Thor. Because we didn't have enough assassins with cool ass skins yet. Guess what, you thought Dragon Knight Ao Kuang was cool with his killer dragon that can rip you to shreds? Well, he stands no match against this Gundam ass bitch. First of all, look at this long flowing hair that only an anime character can achieve. Seriously, he's so badass that gravity doesn't even touch his hair. And guess what? Every time you ult, he hops in his metal murder machine and comes right back down on your wimpy ass face. Ragnarok Force X is so goddamn powerful that even the screen can't contain him. Seriously, you can't see shit with this skin. But you don't have to because all your enemies will just explode at the first sight of this behemoth tier 5 god. So what the hell are you doing right now, Shinji? Go and get your ass in that goddamn mech suit. So sometimes the developers at Hi-Rez love gods so much that they give them a bunch of skins. One would be the aforementioned Thor skin, but there's another Norse god that arguably has some of the coolest skins in the game. Cacodemon Ymir is equal parts cool and fucking nuts, because if you look at it, you're met with a unique color scheme and about 6 eyes too many. Cacodemon Ymir is something of an oddball. Ymir was already a pretty refined design, but for this skin they stuck random shit all over him and gave him an unappealing aesthetic that works much better than you would imagine. Seeing as how this is a special tier 4 skin, Ymir gets some very nicely redone animations on its abilities, all which make them sickly and so damn cool. Overall, this skin just makes Ymir look like a worm, but it works well for him. Sadly, this skin is no longer available because you had to play the beta and reach level 30 in it to be able to obtain the skin. Speaking of skins that will be never attainable ever again, this list was honestly one of the hardest ones I've ever had to make because there were so many incredible choices that I had to leave out. So here are a few honorable mentions before we get to our number 1 spot. The Swagni skin for Agni, Elite Agent for Apollo, Nerd Rage for Tabrakan, Derpules for Hercules, Orbital Strike for Rama, and Run.exe for Mercury. I would put a Loki skin on here, but fuck that god, so let's move on to the number 1 spot. There was absolutely no dispute over what the number 1 spot would be. There was only one choice to put on here, and this is basically going to turn into more of a rant than anything, because I'm just mad that I couldn't get the best skin for my favorite god in the entire game. That's right, the number 1 spot has to be Archon Thanatos. Honestly, what else could you expect from me? This glorious tier 5 skin from the 2015 Odyssey was always going to be number 1, because if anybody has watched my top 10 best gods in Smite video, they know Thanatos is my favorite god. But it also hurts every time I see this skin, because it's simply one of the best skins in the game, and I know I'll never have it. It has all of the traits of an amazing skin. It is an incredible reimagining of a cool concept for a god, it features beautifully designed abilities, and it evolves throughout the game based on your level. There's so much design and love put into the skin that is arguably well worth its near $100 price tag if you really love this game like I do, seeing as how you can only get it if you bought every item in the 2015 Odyssey, something I sadly didn't do. Even if it weren't a skin for my favorite god in the game, it would most likely have gotten the number 1 spot anyways. Hi-Rez certainly outdid themselves with the design on this one. Thank you for watching this video. I thought it would be topical to talk about these skins, seeing as this year's Odyssey is about to come to a close, and the Smite World Championship is going on right as we speak. Speaking of the Smite World Championship and about how we're now exiting the very second season of Smite, keep a lookout in the coming weeks for my top 10 best gods in Smite for Season 2 video. Just like last time, my player name is in the description and I hope to see you on the battleground of the gods.